Hello Internet, good morning, good afternoon, good day, whatever time it is for you, make it good. So welcome to the second part of the Talbot Samba turnaround. As I said before, I bought these two Talbot Sambas, the blue one quite a while before the red one, and I've just never got around to putting them back on the road. I think various things got in the way. Mainly my capabilities, not as a mechanic, because these two cars didn't come running and complete. But I took the chance in buying them because they're two GLSs. Well, to be fair, when I bought them, I didn't really understand that they were very rare in that they're GLSs. I bought them because I wanted a Talbot Samba, mainly because when I was 18, I had a blue one and thoroughly enjoyed it, and regretted selling it. And when I sold it, I actually bought a 1600 red Ford Capri with a black vinyl roof, a Mark III, and they come with all sorts of kudos, I suppose. It was a cool car to have in 1983, I suppose. You're running around in a Capri. The what did you call those guys? The detectives, the Avengers had one, Minder had one, and anybody who was tough had a Capri. I mean, you had your arm out the window, but to be fair, the Capri drove nowhere near as good as my 1.1 Talbot Samba. And the reason I bought a Talbot Samba essentially was this. I had a Skoda, and my Uncle David crashed the Skoda. And the Skoda wasn't just any Skoda, it was a Skoda 1.2 LSE, I think it was. I mean, at that time, to have a car with, a radio cassette, alloy wheels, and sunroof and spoiler front and back, and a sort of cool burnt orange colour with Grand Prix tyres, I sort of thought, given the fact that it cost like £2,300 and I could trade in my completely rotten Datsun 120Y and get £700 of a deposit, it was a no-brainer. I suppose looking back, it sort of was a no-brainer. But anyway, after my uncle had a mishap with the good Skoda Fall, as we call them in Northern Ireland, I had a choice. I think it was like a Citroen Visa or a Mini Metro or a Talbot Samba. And I thought to myself, this is 1983. Hasn't Talbot just won the Constructors' Championship in the World Rally Series? Talbot sort of come with a tradition of rallying. I know a local garage down in Guildford near me had a Talbot dealership, and indeed Kevin Doyle competed in a Hillman Avenger, I believe it was, in the Circuit of Ireland Rally, and I thought that was so cool. I can remember going to watch the Circuit of Ireland Rally, and there was Kevin Doyle coming up to one of the checkpoints, and I thought, I know him, and I felt that was just so cool, because that's where I bought my Datsun, actually. But anyway, back to the Sambas. In the last video, if you watched it, you can go back and watch it, we find out we have a major problem with the engine in the red Talbot Samba with 11,000 miles on it. A GLS Samba, I mean, the body's tremendous, every part of the car's tremendous, but it's only good to look at. It's only sort of an ornament. So my plan was to have two Sambas in 2 months, and I'm into this now about a week and a half. And the blue one is built back together. I mean, I had it stripped because it was very covered in surface rust, although the underbody of that car is absolutely amazing. But it was covered in surface rust, so I sprayed it the colour that it is because I quite like the colour. And anyway, rather than take the engine out of this and have this car mainly stripped to pieces, I decided I'm going to build this car up. So I stopped working on the red car. It is complete. I know I have to take the engine out of it, and I have a spare engine in another car over there, but it's an engine with like 80,000 miles on it or something. And that was the plan. I was going to take the engine out of that, the engine out of this, and put it in it. I've never taken the engine out of a Samba before. I might have done some cars, very little experience. So I thought to myself, I'll take the engine out of the donor car first, and that'll train me how to do it, because I got a Haynes manual. But anyway, since the last video, I've had a great bit of response. People, you know, to help me and encourage me, and I'm very grateful for that. People subscribe to the channel and stuff. I've been overwhelmed, but most overwhelming is a local lad who's been a very big encouragement, who I still owe the money for these wheels. I don't know where he lives, and he only lives like 8 miles away or something. And he has offered to help me with the existing engine in this car. And that is favour that I am not prepared to turn down. I may have had a plan to have this back on the road, you know, within a few weeks, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to concentrate on the blue one and get it put together, and I'm going to lead into the favour that I've got in this red car. I'm very grateful to William James for reaching out to help me with it. And it's going to take this. It's such a shame, I mean, to take an engine out with 11,000 miles on it that may not have really too much wrong with it. It might have a bent valve or something like that. I think there was some pretty bad maintenance that happened with this car in previous history, but this car is so good, in such good condition. The interior's good, there's no rust in the floors, they're red like they come out of the factory. And given the fact it's a GLS, I know of two. And some people in the Samba Club, they don't say there only is two. I don't know. Like, one could roll out of somebody's garage that's been parked for, 40 years or something. Who knows? But from what we know, there's only two. And the two of them are that one, a blue one and a red one. That's it. So the first thing I want to do is, I want to take a 240 grit. Sheet. Put it on the DA. And go over the bits that's not supposed to be painted and see how they turn out. It's going to take a lot of sanding at these. I've no idea how I'm going to get the paint. The silver paint, and I'm not going silver, I'm going something different. Made in Belgium. So I have a thought. What's the thought? Well, the thought is this. Could they be sandblasted or shot blasted or bead blasted or something? Because there's so many places in these wheels where, I mean, to physically clean them with sandpaper, it's just going to take a very, very long time. No, I'm not afraid to do it, but I'm not convinced I can do it well enough. So I'm going to look into seeing about getting them shot blasted, see how that turns out. So I have given these just a bit of sand with 80 grit sandpaper. But how do you fix these pits? These little dives and dips. That's going to be tricky. Because if I spray the whole thing gold, or blue, or green, or purple, then you're still going to see it in there when I sand it, aren't you? So, I'm not real sure how to do this now. Have to get my thinking cap on. So sent the alloy wheels away to get powder blasted. I mean, had tried cleaning them out, but there was so much rubbish in all the nooks and crannies, and like, it wasn't going to happen to get them clean. But they've come back sort of an odd looking sort of colour. Beigey, goldy, silvery colour. I mean, it doesn't look very nice. So, I'm just experimenting. And I just tried to sand a little bit here. And it comes back to sort of silver. So, my thoughts are this. I was going to use a sander like this, so it's the whole width of the actual rim. So I'm keeping it straight. But here's what I think I'll do. I think I'll spray these with primer, etch primer, sand them down just with light sandpaper to get a smoothish finish. Then I'm going to spray them the colour I've decided to do this, olive wheel. And it's not white. And the reason it's not white is because I've already got white wheels on the red Samba. So just to be different, I'm doing the wheels a different colour for the blue Samba. And really what I want to do is get the wheels the one colour and then sand the high bits down, the flat bits down to get the silver colour and then lacquer over the top of the lot of them. I mean, what could go wrong? Couldn't be that hard, could it? What's the worst thing could happen? I'm not afraid. So that's the direction we're going to go. So I've no real idea what I'm doing here. And I've decided I'm just going to paint these wheels with the etch primer. Then I'm going to sand it off. No, pardon me, then I'm going to paint them gold. Then I'm going to sand the top of it off. And it could be a complete disaster. But on the other hand, it might actually work. So, I've gave all these wheels a good sand down here where I'm going to eventually want it to look silver or aluminium colour. I mean, the plan is to paint these wheels Subaru Impreza gold, and then to sand off these bits, these raised bits here that are flat that initially did come unpainted on a Talbot Samba and then lacquer over the whole thing. But I've had all sorts of dilemmas on ways I'm going to do that. The first thing I think I need to do is sand them down and get them as close to where I want them to be before I put paint on them, and then take the paint off them, and hopefully that's going to look the part. I mean, I could make a total mess of them, but sure, what's the worst case scenario? If I'm going to paint the wheels, you know, Subaru gold, and to try to take this off and it doesn't work out, just paint them all gold and let it go at that. I could also get them what do you call that, coated, you know what I mean, that coat on them, which everyone's doing now. So I'm going to put you in a bit of time lapse, and that's what we're going to work at. I'm going to work at sanding these wheels down. Then I'm going to just give the raised bits here silver wheel paint. Then I'm going to paint the whole wheel with etch primer. Then I'm going to paint the whole wheel gold. Then I'm going to sand it off with the same technique as I was using before. And then I'm going to lacquer the wheels. And hopefully it'll turn out alright. Hopefully it'll turn out real good. But if it doesn't, I'll paint the wheels all Subaru Impreza gold. So that's the plan. You're definitely not going to sand it off while the paint's not completely hard. I thought, you know, with the paint not being completely hard, it'd be easier to sand off, and maybe it would be. But it's creating like rolls of paint. So I think it needs to be hard. Let's have a look. So sanding off alright, but leaving like rolls, that would need to be dust. See, my idea is to sand that off, and then when it's sanded off, lacquer over the top of it all. But I'm not convinced that's going to work. However, the wheels look good. I mean, the dandelions floating about wasn't ideal. And I'm going to try this one wheel tomorrow. And I mean, if it doesn't work out, I'm just going to spray it again. Gold. And that'll be the end of it. It'll stay gold, just all gold. So tomorrow is a new day. Let's see what happens. So, just an update of where I've gone with these wheels. The plan was to coat them with etch primer. Then the final coat was of the Subaru Impreza Gold, and then sand it off. But it was coming off like in rolls and in places where you didn't want it to come off. And we got to the stage where it was actually making the wheels worse because the paint wasn't completely hard, and it's still not completely hard. Which is this is the morning after the day before. And first thing this morning, I started sanding it off, and it's starting to come off reasonably well. I mean, if I sand it off a bit and then hit it skiked with the air tool, it looks reasonably good. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do them all like this. I mean, what I done last night was I painted the wheels again, put another coat of gold on them, front and back. Then I lacquered them completely. Why did I lacquer them? Well, my understanding of the lacquer situation is you sort of need to put it on before the paint's completely hard. Now, that could be wrong. You can check that out for yourself. But that's why I did it. And the lacquer's on them. And they do look well. I mean, they're not perfect. You know, this is a budget diamond cutting setup. But I think it's going to look reasonably good. So what I'm going to do is now, I'm going to sand them all off, and then I'm going to lacquer them again over the aluminium. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. First of all, I'm doing it with 80 grit. Then I'm going down to 240 grit, and then I'm going to lacquer them, and we'll see what happens. I mean, we do know that to take these wheels down to a perfect finish, you'd have to take so much out of them, and I don't even know if it'll ever come down to a perfect finish. You know, glazed, glassy, aluminium finish on the surfaces that I want to look aluminium. However, let's proceed. I'm going to put you on time lapse, and we're going to do these wheels and see how they turn out. So what do you think? I think ultimately they're not perfect. They're not high precision diamond cutting. I mean, when these wheels came from the factory, they were like this. except in here was like a light grey colour. That's what it seems anyway from what I can make out. Now, what I'd like to do now is get some Autosolve and clean this surface as best as I can. Maybe get a toothbrush or something and try and just get it as neat and tidy as we can, and then I'm going to lacquer the whole thing again. And I do think they look cool. Now, the reason I went for that colour was a sort of a homage, I suppose, to Colin McRae, the late Colin McRae, because his car, a Subaru Impreza, won the World Rally Championship. And he was unfortunately killed on a horrendous helicopter accident. But that's why I went for the colour. I mean, we already have white wheels, and so white probably would have looked better, who knows. But anyway, that's why I want this colour. So I'm going to now go with Autosolve, then I'm going to go with thinners, and then I'm going to lacquer them. So, am I on? Yeah. So that's it. I'll put my glasses on, look cool. I know that I've just covered them all in varnish. But anyway, that's it. I mean, I could have done more things. I've got an aluminium polishing set up there, different colours of polishing, whatever it are, wherever they are. But I mean, the more I worked at these, trying to get the aluminium faces, the diamond cut places better, the more it was damaging the paint. I mean, it was like taking 2 steps forward, I don't know, 1 step forward and 2 steps back. And I decided enough is enough. I still think they look really cool. I think Colin McRae would be pleased. So I'm going to leave them here in the sun for a good while to harden. I mean, I don't know what their durability is going to be like, but we're going to give them every chance they need. I do think they're going to look cool. I mean, they're probably more like what they came from the factory, in that they're not just completely white. They have the aluminium protruding. I don't know how I was going to get that done. Maybe somebody's got a lathe and could do all sorts of stuff on them, but you're going to be into mega bucks. My gut feeling is, I mean, the paint cost me £30. The most expensive thing was getting them sandblasted, and I mean, they come back with a real stipple finish on them. And looking back, there might have been other options there to get them done in better value. I mean, I brought them to a radiator company who makes new radiators locally here, and I suppose they'll do this, but it's not what they specialise in. I mean, there's people could have done these, Luke says, for like 40 quid for the 4 of them, and I paid £100 plus VAT, which was put the price of them up significantly. However, I'm happy with the way they look. I'm trying to think now of what tires to put on them. I mean, I had thought about putting the tires on them that come off them, but they're low profile, and they're that low profile I think they look odd. I think the tire needs to be a higher tire, like a 70 tire, and I don't know what they were, but they were definitely very, little sporty setup, which wasn't clever in my opinion. Well, I mean, if that's what you want, I think it looks better with the higher tire on it. And I was thinking about brands. Like, I wonder, do they still do Firestone? Imagine if we got Firestone tires and wrote Firestone on them, highlighted it in white. I think that would look cool. But anyway, I'll have to look into that. I have got tires there that come off the steel wheels that maybe would fit it, but the radials, one of them is a Dunlop, one of them is a Uniroyal, 2 of them's Caliber or Kleber or something like that. So they're a bit of a mismatch, and we need to put new tires on it. At the end of the day, they're old tires, and they want to get something safe. I don't even know if they do Firestones anymore, but I'll have a look. So that's it. That's them cooking. So now I've got the wheels painted, lacquered, and ready for tires. I had a look there. I mean, you get Firestones out of eBay, but they're in England. I get 3 the same in England, 2 in Perth and Scotland. The ones in Perth, they won't deliver. So it's not simple. Firestones are a tire of the past, from what I can gather. Or maybe you can get them in Texas or somewhere like that, but it's not real simple here in the UK. So what I'm thinking of doing now is taking this car outside, putting some old steel wheels on it just for now, pushing it outside. I mean, the weather right now is amazing. It's like 22 degrees and wall-to-wall sunshine. I'm washing in around all these arches and stuff because I'm not sure if it's mud or what it is, but it's whatever maybe it's just the protective stuff that's on the car. I mean, the inner guards in this car is amazing. The underbody's amazing, as we've looked at before. And maybe just giving it a good wash. Getting everything off that I can with the power washer. Then it'll dry well. Then I'll maybe try and clean it a bit with scraper or something. And then give it a good coat of good old wax oil. I like wax oil. I mean, if you get black wax oil and mix it with a bit of cellulose, it comes out easier. Spreads easier like margarine. And giving it a good old coat of wax oil in the chassis rails and stuff. And that's the plan. So let's do it. So we're ready for a bit of washing here. Give this car a wash, top and bottom, and particularly around the arches so that we can get it properly wax oiled. So, I mean, what's your thoughts? What about the colour? Do you like it? So during the winter, I was a little bit concerned about the quality of the coolant in this car. So what I done was I drained it out of it, essentially. Now, what came out of it did look reasonably good. I mean, in the water bottle, it just looked like ordinary water. But in the cooling system in the engine, when I took it off the radiator, it did look like there was some pink coolant in it. So I'm going to put pink coolant in it. But given the fiasco I had with the Land Rover Discovery, if you ever watched it, the video where I couldn't get the heater to work in the car in the middle of the winter, I had such a tremendous bit of trouble trying to get the air out of the system. I mean, the engine was running cool enough, but I couldn't get water into the radiator and the heater matrix. So I went to eBay and I bought this high quality vacuum filling riggy Maroli. Now I did put the pressure up there and I'm losing a very little bit of pressure. It's probably just I need to tighten it around the reservoir a little bit more. I have blocked the reservoir overflow with a bolt, but it's losing pressure, but not tremendously much. So I'm going to give it a go at trying to fill this with a vacuum system to see how that works. Now, the quality of this system is absolutely tremendous. I mean, it doesn't have a manufacturer's label and nothing to identify it or anything. So I can only assume that is German engineering. It must have come from Dusseldorf or somewhere. Like, it wouldn't be Chinese, would it? I mean, would it? So this is it. I'm going to pull a vacuum in this and I'm going to test out its ability to fill the car with fluid, with coolant. Excited and not real sure why I'm losing a wee bit of pressure here all the time. Like, if only I suppose if I got soapy water and put it on it, it's going to tell me why, you know, I'm losing pressure. But I think at the minute I just want to get the pressure up, take this connection off, bring you a bit closer. Take this connection off, then put this in. If it's 7 litres of coolant in this, the capacity is 10 pints. So let's try it out. Sure, what can happen? What's the worst thing can happen? Now, the worst thing can happen is this won't fit. Oh, there's it in now, isn't it? How do you know when it's full? Well, that's not good. Didn't quite get that right, did I? I seem to lose my... Why did I suck the air up? Such a bendy, twisty, corkscrew, pig's welt type pipe. So when I try that again, I don't know if I can vacuum it with fluid in it, but let's try something. So it didn't go to plan. I mean, we can go back to the conventional way, I suppose, in a minute. A couple issues. Right, how'd you go? In you go. Get you in there. Still not enough. I don't think. Making a hash of this, aren't they? Like, it looked real simple on the video. Yeah. Great. I think we're going back to the Haynes manual method. Now, what's wrong now? No. So I can't really tell you why that didn't work, other than the fact that I have a leak in my coolant system, which is potential. Need what it is, but I suppose that will reveal itself. Saying that, the water's up to perfect level, so I'll have to consult the old Haynes manual and see what the story is. I mean, how much have I got in it? I've got to put in it about what it says it's in it. I mean, it's 7 litres and that. There's about 1.5 litres left, and I think it holds 5.6 litres. So maybe I have got it right. But I'll consult the conventional method and make my mind up. And then when we get this engine running, so I've decided on this wonderful hot Friday night, I'm going to finish for the night. It's 6 o'clock. The sun is shining. I know you can't see it from where you are, but here's the thing. I just get into this car and it just brought me right back to 1983. Not because of how it looks, but because of how it smells. I mean, it just smells the same way my car smelled then. It's awesome how cars can do that. Many of you ever get into a 1972 Triumph with leather seats or something? And there's a definitive smell for that period, that era of car. But here's a definitive smell thing right now. This week, my son Luke blessed me with a period air freshener. I mean, back in the day, it was either a Magic Tree or one of those. Now, you can still get the little green or yellow or blue Magic Trees, but the traffic light orange spicy flavour is obsolete. But it's not obsolete for me, because Luke bought me one on eBay. And it was a big deal because, you know, he's just an ordinary working lad. And he spent $30 buying me this. So when this car is finished and goes over there on the wall of life, I'm going to put this in it and I'm going to drive it regularly. And I'm going to enjoy it. Tax exempt, MOT exempt. A Samba's a great driving little car. If you've never drove one, I can tell you, they drive really, really nicely. Punchy, good handling, and big, comfortable seats. I forgot about the seats. I mean, it's not like getting into the seat of the Discovery, which is pretty hard and firm. These are big, spongy seats. And I'm going to look forward to getting this car going. This is part of the enthusiasm of getting it going and putting this in and seeing how that changes, how that brings back the memories. It's called the Few Orange Car Fragrance, the effective air freshener you and your passengers can live with. So why they were obsolete, I don't know. I mean, everyone was buying them, but there you go. Could it be French? I mean, sounds a bit French, but it's going to look super cool in this car. So that's me until tomorrow for the check out this yoke. We just changed the 4 spark plugs. Changing the spark plug on the Talbot Samba is simple enough, but you need to be really careful because you can cross thread a spark plug in the cylinder head very easily. I mean, they're countersunk well down into the head. I'll show you what I mean. This is a spark plug, and in order to get it up to the place where you can connect it, this extension has to be put on it. They're sunk right down into the block. Now these are the 4 spark plugs that come out of this Talbot Samba. I did make a mistake. They all look like new spark plugs, but one's slightly different. So this is the 4 spark plugs that come out of the Samba. They are new spark plugs. I got mixed up in one of these spark plugs which come out of this red Samba. This red Samba, as I said before, has only done 11,000 miles, but it's a head gasket issue at least as a problem. And you can see its spark plugs were rusty, but better than that, the one that I took out was closed completely, but these ones were fine. The man who done the work in this car for me, engine-wise, was from a place in South Armagh called Cross Midlane. Pat, you call him. I mean, I thought he'd done an excellent job, and he was very reasonable to pay, and I'm very grateful for what he did do. But anyway, these spark plugs look good. There doesn't look to be anything wrong with them, other than one's completely different. Not completely different, it's a different manufacturer, it's SE Delco, and the other ones are NGK. Plus, if you notice in the end of this one, focus, it's cut, the little bit that you screw the extension onto is cut off, so the extension fits. It must have broke inside the rod, this little rod thing. They go right down into the cylinder head at the back here. They're not real simple to do. I mean, it's very easy to cross thread them, but they've all been replaced. I put cable ties on the ST leads to identify which one goes where. 1, 2 and 3, and then 4 obviously goes where 4 goes, so I put nothing on it. So we'll go to the next stage. We're going to put this up in the air now and look at the fuel lines. But that's that bit sorted out. So I now have the car up in the air, and I'll show you the reason I want to change this fuel line. There she's there. It's like a braided hose which clips into these little clips. Oops. I mean, if you force it in, it'll go in. But my concern is in the winter time or the summertime, if it gets hot and it falls out of these little plastic clips, it's hanging like that on the road. And with petrol running through it, that's probably not a great idea. I fitted this because it's all I had, but I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to disconnect it and put something metal in there to see if I can maybe join it metal here as it goes into the tank, maybe here metal, and that means it's metal the whole way underneath the car. At least then, if it breaks, it's going to hang down very little, and it should be less prone to getting hot or in warm weather and stuff, and just falling off. So that's the plan. So I don't know if there's any petrol in this, but if there is any petrol in it, should be good. Because I drained the tank another time and put good petrol in it, but it could be run out by now. Yeah, there's some in it, all right. That'll catch the petrol out. This is the braided type hose. I'm not sure if it meets current E10 or whatever it is. If it's good enough for that, I'm not sure. So we're going to take the petrol out. We're going to cut this hose. We're going to find a metal one that fits in this hose because this hose fits over that one. That's it. That goes up to the new fuel pump. That's a new fuel line. Exact bore of the metal pipe that comes out of the back of the fuel tank. So I'm not worried now that the fuel's not getting to it because of the wrong bore of pipe or whatever. So hopefully this is the answer. So we're going to get some fresh fuel and put it in it. And we'll see how we get on. Petrol in this car. I'm going to use a big syringe that I use in the farm and see if I can suck the fuel up this far. I can hear it coming. That's a good sign. Nothing yet. Smell it, but it couldn't be far away. So that's it. I have now petrol pulled up to where the carburetor, to the feed for the carburetor. So we're going to push that on. Bring the clip round. So fuel's up there now. Definitely need a new Jubilee clip. That thing's not much good. Shouldn't be able to push it with your fingers, I wouldn't have thought. Well, that's it on for now. So, what do we got? Give the battery a bit of a jag on the charger. I've sucked fuel up from the petrol tank and put fresh petrol in it. Need to put the leads on the battery. This isn't the right battery for this car. I think I've accidentally put the right battery in the Citroen that we just did up. Goodness! The compressor started up, I thought we were there. I'll stop it here till the compressor stops, because this is a big moment. So the compressor has just stopped. We've sucked the fuel up with a big needle syringe. Now we're ready to see, can we get any into the carburetors? So nothing, not a flinch. So what am I going to do now? I'll try some easy start. I mean, maybe if I can get a little bit of go in it, it'll fire the petrol up. And then I'll know if it'll spark first as well. Aha! So that means it's a spark. So if it's a problem, it's a fuel problem. So I'm going to take this hose off again. And see, are we pumping petrol? Yes. I'm flying out, so we are getting petrol. And it is pumping it. And we have a spark. But we have an automatic choke in this car. So we might be back to the story where we still need to change the carburetor for a Weber 40. And we can beat don't tell Luke, we can beat the rally at not the 50. We have to tell Michelle to put the boot down. The mouton. Oh, Scotty's. It's definitely a carburetor issue. So, battery is flat. So we're back to our story that we seem to have a problem with this old carburetor. I mean, it's no choke, it's a manual choke. Or, pardon me, it's not a manual choke, it's an automatic choke, which historically has not been very successful. But if we get enough go in it to warm up a little bit, maybe run rough till it runs properly or something. That was the longest yet. It's getting better. It's getting fuel. It's got a spark. So I may have found an issue. This pipe with this crappy, I mean it wasn't crappy I suppose 40, 50 years ago, but it's crappy now. And we're leaking petrol there. We're not getting enough petrol. But the good thing is when it runs nicely. So I'm going to change that and put a decent Jubilee clip on it. And we'll take it from there. So I've changed out the hose clips. And we'll see what happens now. Oh, I've left the battery turned on. We could be dead. Not quite. I'll give it a wee squirt of Easy Start again to get the fuel up to it because I've left a bit of hose. Nah. So that was not a fix. It was a fix, but it hasn't solved the problem. We have a fuel starvation issue. So whether that's to do with the carburetor, and we've done a lot of fettling at this carburetor. The advice was to dump the carburetor and put a 40 on it, a Weber 40. I mean, we have the intake manifold for it, and that's likely the direction we're going to have to go down. We've tried everything now, and we're no further on. So I'm not really sure how it happened, but this car is now running pretty smoothly. I mean, the Talbot stayed set, but it's taken acceleration. Really nicely. Oops, what did I do there? I think that's just the idle screw might need turned up a little bit. I'm pretty sure when the car heated up, that actually created a situation whereby it run properly. It's an automatic choke issue. I'm pretty sure of that. I mean, there is a fix for that. I think this red one over here has a manual conversion. So that's an option. And I think it just needs the idle turned up a little bit right now. I haven't quite figured out if you even can adjust the idle speed. I mean, it's idling perfectly now. There's some tamper-proof screw that you have to undo, and it seems it's not practical really to get into it. But I mean, as far as takeover is concerned, that's perfect now. Now I've played the system by lifting the tank up as far as you can get it and releasing the bleed screw that's for that. But what I would like to see, I would like to see the fan coming on. I mean, the temperature gauge is working. And I mean, it's about quarter. So I don't think the fan's going to come on. The Haynes manual says run the car till the fan comes on, but it's such a lean engine. Like, I thought there'd be a load of smoke in here, but I've had this running for, 5 minutes. Plus more. You can't even visibly see smoke coming out of the exhaust. I mean, this is a really, really nice little engine. And then when you give it that throttle, it seems to want to go. So the next thing, and the next part of this plan is, I'm going to remove this bumper again. I'm going to replace these bumper brackets with authentic bumper brackets. I'm going to wire brush the inner, well, not wire brush, but brush the inner parts of the wings, both front and rear. And I'm going to give this car a good wax oiling. I like this car. I really like this car. And I think it's going to be good. So tomorrow, that's going to be the plan. But as for this video, it's been fun doing the wheels. It's been fun getting this car to this position. It is running nice and smooth right now. I mean, it could do with the tappets being set, but we'll get that done. And it's not cutting out. So next on the agenda is get a wax oil, check the brakes, and take it for a good run, and see does it keep going. Then clean it up, get new tyres on. I would really like Firestones. I would really like Firestones. And when we think we've got it right, we'll get the Mouton to take it to 0 to 50 and just see how fast it is in comparison to the other cars which we have completed. This car's going to look cool when it's done. I mean, there's a lot of tidying up to do and a lot of bits and pieces still to do, but I'm looking forward to driving this car. I think it's going to be really fun. So thank you for watching, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Finally Finished Classics. So for me, it's goodbye, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever it is, but God bless. See you soon.